Okay, now that we know all the parts we need, let's go ahead and actually implement login. So I'm going to start with a user class, and this is going to be a logic class. And we're going to create a new Python file called user with a capital U. And it's going to have class user, and then user is just going to have a username and a hash. And then we'll make a constructor, and self.username is username, self.hash is hash. And then probably want to get username and get hash. And then I'm going to have a read method, which is going to be a static method call a read user. It's going to take a username, and it's ultimately going to call a method in the database, but I don't have a users collection yet. So I'm basically going to hard code a user object. So if username is Mark, then I'm going to return a user object with the username Mark, and then the hash is going to be, let's go ahead and make one. So Python, and then import bcrypt, and then salt is bcrypt gensalt, and I'm going to use test me 1 2 exclamation point. Not really that secure, but it's fine for now. And then we're going to let's use 13 rounds for the work factor. And then bytes object cannot be interpreted. I need to, oh yeah, that doesn't go there. There, so there's my salt, and then hash is equal to bcrypt.hashpw. This one is test me 1 2 exclamation point dot encode, and salt. So that took about a second, maybe half a second. That's fine, that's usable. So there's my hash. And I think I can just plug this in over here. So anybody that has this hash is not going to be able to recover the original password. So this is safe. And then if there is no matching user, I'm going to return none instead of an object. So now I have a read user method. And let's also implement check PW, check password. So we're going to do, actually this will be self. Let's call verify password. And we're going to call this on an object that has a hash. And we're going to pass in a password that we got out of a form. And then we're going to return bcrypt.checkpw, password.encode, and self.hash, which is already going to be binary. So we need bcrypt. And that should be it for right now. So I'm going to add 2 dict methods and build methods so that I can store these in a collection. But for now, that's all I need for login. And then for templates, I'm going to have a user directory. So new user for my user routes. And then I'm going to start with a copy of create playlist for login, So we're going to have a login form, and I'm going to call this login form. We're just login. Yeah. So this is going to be login. Log in to your account. And then please enter the information for your account in the form below. Please enter your account information in the form below. And then it's going to call doLogin using post method, because I definitely don't want to use get method to send a password. And then I need username, and that's going to be in a username field. And then I need password is going to be in a password field. And then I don't need this third thing. And then the button's going to say login. Okay, so that looks good. So now in my user routes, let's make a login route. And this one is going to display the login form. I think I called that login. Yep. And then when I click the button, that's going to take me to do login. And then I want to do some validation input. So first I'm going to call, let's see, it's going to be username, comma, error equals webui dot validate field, username, and username is the name of the field in the request. And then if error is not none, I'm going to return error. And then we're going to do the same with password. And this one is going to be password and password. Then I'm going to get user is equal to user dot read user. Did I call that read user? Yeah, read user, and I pass in username. And then if user is none, then I need to render template error.html, and I think that has message header and message body. Yeah, message header and message body. So this is going to be too long for one line. So message header is login failed, and then now I don't want to leak any information about why login failed. I don't want the user to be able to figure out that there's an account with that username but the password is wrong, or there's not a username at all. I don't want to do anything. So I'm just going to say the login attempt failed. Please check your account information and try again. So that's all it's going to say. And then if user is valid, then I'm going to do logged in equals user dot check password password. And then if not logged in, I'm going to write exactly the same error message so that they can't tell the reason why it failed. Otherwise, I get here. So I'm going to store on session, let's put this in user, is equal to the user object. And then I'm going to return a confirm logged in. Actually, I just want to redirect to the home page, I think. So there's a redirect method that you can use if you want to redirect. So I'm going to go ahead and import that. And also URL for. I think it's return redirect URL for, and then you give it basically an endpoint, which in my web UI, my main homepage endpoint is this thing here. Yeah, this /route here, which is homepage. So I can give it any of these routes or homepage should work. I'm going to give it the name of the view function as the endpoint here. So URL for homepage. And I think that's the text here. I think that will work. Well, we'll find out. So let's go ahead and reload. Actually, it didn't like that string must start with a slash, so it's got to be, yeah. So I'm just going to do the slash for that. Okay. Yeah, it didn't like that. Let me. Oh, it didn't like that. The home page was probably fine. Let's go ahead and change that back. Okay. So this is my non-incognito window. I'm going to go home, and I don't have a login route yet, but that will come. So I'm going to go to login, and I got a server error. So let's look at the login route. So this is just rendering, yeah, because it's in user. So let's try that again. And reload. Okay, so there's my form. And I'm just going to click login. So I need to accept post requests in do login. So I'm going to accept both get and post. But I'm only going to use post, except for bad bookmarks, basically. Okay, so username was not specified, so I'm going to go ahead and do John, and then log in. Password was not specified, so I'm going to do... Oh, and this should be a password field, not a text field, so let me go back to my login form, and type here should be password instead of text. Okay, and reload the form. So this is going to be John, login, internal server error, name user is not defined. So I need to import user here from logic.user import user. Okay, so login failed, login attempt failed. And so I'm going to go to Mark, which is a valid username, and I get a user object has no attribute check password. So let's look at the user class. I didn't call it check password, I called it verify password. So we're going to go here. So this thing here should be verify password. Okay, and then, so login failed, same error, but this time it's because the password is wrong. That failed because the username is wrong, so they're indistinguishable. So now I'm going to give it the correct password. And then I logged in and I was redirected to the home page. And if I do, and then I really have no way of seeing that I'm logged in right now. So let's put that at the top. I'm going to just put a floating div in my template. So let me go to my default template here. And in my body, I'm going to have div style equals float right. And then inside of here, let's see. Yeah, I want to access the session. So session, square bracket, username. Actually, user is going to be user object, but get username if user in session. So I'm not sure that's actually going to work, but let's go ahead and try it anyhow. I might have to pass in session explicitly, but it is a global, so let's see if it works or not. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and reload, and yeah, it's showing Mark logged in here. So let me go ahead and log out. Actually, I don't have a log out yet. So let me add a logout. I'm going to put that in the div after the username. So this is not pretty, but it works. So there's the div float right, and then let's add another div style float right for an anchor tag, href equals / logout, and then logout. And then we're going to reload, and I need to space those out. So let's just put padding around them. Actually, we'll do 1M. Let's do 1M instead of 10px. And then I'm going to do that for this one as well. And I should put that in my style sheet. Oh, it's actually colon here. I will probably clean that up after I figure out exactly what I want to do here. Okay, that's actually fine, but I think I want to put mark first. So let me switch the order here. Okay, so I'm going to reload logout. And then I want to make this route in user routes. So we're going to have static method at route logout. We're just going to del if user in session del session user. And then we're going to redirect to the home page for now. Actually, we're going to redirect to the login page. Okay. And then we're also going to eventually make it so that the only page you can see if you're not logged in is the login page. So let's log in. Now we don't want to actually show this if you're not logged in, so I need an if statement there. But I'm going to log in as me. And now it's showing me logged in. And then I'm going to log out. And if I access the home page, oops, let's try that again. If I access the home page, it doesn't show me logged in now because I'm logged out.